Welcome to another edition of the DJ Roscoe Sports Show for this Thursday, October 26, 2023, coming live from our palatial black trolley Nissan Pathfinder 2018 edition. We're fancy up in here at the Turetsky household, and I'm again waiting for my beautiful daughter Lorelai. Get out of dance class. She's wearing her Halloween costume. It's secret. It's Ariel. She's going to be a little mermaid. Ariel! So she's going to be Ariel for Halloween. This upcoming Tuesday for Trick or Treated, and my son LJ is going to be, at times it's either scary or funny, silly little pumpkin. So at times it looks scary. He gives a dinosaur roar like this. Rah! So either way, have a safe, happy, and healthy Halloween. Get your scares in, but make sure to do it safely. Make sure to be careful to the people, the kids on the road. Just everyone have a happy and healthy, safe Halloween. And then make sure to take your parent, mom, or dad text when the kids are asleep. My favorite candy, my wife's favorite candy is Kit Kat bar. My favorite candy is the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. You sneak off, you grab a few of those. Because LJ's favorite, he's 3 years old, 3.5 years old. His favorite candy is also Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. But hey, that's dad text. When he's asleep, he can't eat all that. It's going to give him too many cavities. It's bad for his health and for his dental hygiene. The dentist would not approve. So I'm going to save him and save us a big bill of cavities at the end. I'm going to take 3 or 4 of those Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. I'm all grown. It's okay if my teeth are messed up. So I'm going to take some of the dad texts and take some of those. But have a happy and healthy Halloween. And then before you know it, I've already seen some Christmas commercials. I don't even say it. The Feliz Navidad Christmas commercials. Elf, Buddy the Elf, Santa's coming. Walmart's already had some Christmas commercials. Before you know it, as soon as it's Halloween, the next day, it's November 1st. Before you know it, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas. It's all over the place, the holidays. And it's, end of this year, 2023 is over. Happy 2024, Happy New Year. It's crazy how fast it goes. But got a lot of fun things to talk about. Basketball season is underway. Tuesday night kicked off. The defending NBA champion Denver Nuggets hung their first ever championship banner, and they knocked off the team they swept in the Western Conference Finals. They knocked off LeBron James, and LeBron James entered his 21st season in the NBA. Hard to believe he started when I was a senior in high school in the fall of 2003. 20 years ago, and now it's the 2003-2004 season was his rookie year. Now it's 2023-2024 season, and it's 21st season in the NBA. Last year became the all-time leading scorer in NBA history, and it's just crazy that he's still trucking along, playing well. He's 38 years young. He'll be 39 in December. I think his birthday same day as Tiger Woods, December 30th, and the great pitcher Sandy Koufax. So should be interesting to see, but they had the chance, just like they did back in the day with Pedro Martinez at Yankee Stadium. Who's your daddy? Because the Denver Nuggets coach is talking a lot of smack, and they did what they had to do on opening night. They crushed the Lakers, even though it was close for a little bit. LeBron James didn't like how much of a minutes restriction he was, didn't play as much. But the Nuggets were their daddies that day in the playoffs and in the opening night. So Jokovic is still probably the best player in the league. Either him or Giannis, who just re-signed for big money with the Milwaukee Bucks, and now is now paired with another superstar, David Lillard, formerly the Portland Trailblazers. So Nuggets look legit. They crushed the Lakers. And then the second game of opening night was fun on NBA on TNT, besides seeing Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith and Ernie Johnson and Shaquille O'Neal and all those funny guys together. Kind of like NFL Sunday with Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, and Michael Strahan, and all those guys when they're together. It's the basketball equivalent of it. The Phoenix Suns knocked off the Golden State Warriors in Golden State. Kevin Durant lit it up. Devin Booker, they have Bradley Beal. The Phoenix Suns are loaded, but apparently Bradley Beal and Devin Booker will be out for tonight's game. They won 108-104. They won a close game over the Golden State Warriors on opening night. Kevin Durant's legit. He's gonna be a problem for a lot of the Western Conference if he stays healthy. Big thing with him is staying healthy. And now at 35 years old, and he's a little scrawny, gets beat up a lot out there, but he's a heck of a shooter, great basketball player. But tonight is a great doubleheader on TNT. You got the first game is the Philadelphia 76ers taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. As I said, Damian Lillard and Giannis, the Greek Freak, together. And the Sixers, still the drama. What will happen with James Harden? Is he going to stay or is he going to go? He said that I think his mother is ill. I think I said that they were saying so he's not going to play. Joel Embiid's there. Maxi's there. They have a lot of talent, but the big drama with James Harden. Will he give it and play, or will he still demand to be traded? Sixers Milwaukee tonight, but I think the Bucks will win that one. And then tonight, even though Devin Booker and Bradley Beal won't be playing, the Phoenix Suns with Kevin Durant will take on LeBron James and the Lakers at the Staples Center in LA for the Lakers home opener. So that should be a fun game on TNT tonight. And then last night, opening night for the Knicks at Madison Square Garden, at the Mecca of basketball. All the stars, celebrities were out there, including Aaron Judge was out there. One of these days, I wish that he'll be playing in the World Series, and we'll be too busy to go to open night for basketball. But the Knicks, they played the Celtics well. They played them tough, but in the end, the Celtics, they're a loaded roster. Jason Tatum and Brown, and they just got Kristaps Porzingis, the former Knick, and he lit up his former team, scored 30 points in his Boston Celtics debut, and the Celtics came back to win 108-104 last night. So the Knicks lost to the heartbreaker in their home opener. But I still think with Jalen Brunson and the Knicks, they'll be a tough team this year. They'll be a good team, and at least it'll be some fun basketball and maybe another playoff spot for the Knicks, which for a long time they hadn't had a chance to do. Last year they were able to win and even win a playoff series against the Cleveland Cavaliers before getting knocked out in the second round by the Miami Heat, ultimately in the NBA Finals. And then the Brooklyn Nets, the other New York team, lost by 1 point. They blew a lead late in the fourth quarter, lost by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Donovan Mitchell, who's a big Knicks fan, and his dad, was Kevin Mitchell, former star player of the '86 Mets. It's about to be the 37th anniversary tomorrow of the Mets, winning the World Series against the Red Sox. Yes, it was the anniversary of the Mookie Wilson ground ball go between Bill Buckner's legs, and the Mets win. And he would love to come back to play for the Knicks. But right now he's on the Cavaliers. But yeah, so some fun basketball. Basketball's back in full force. Hockey's back in full force. The Philadelphia Flyers are at home tonight in Philadelphia at the Wells Fargo Arena, and they will take on the Minnesota Wild. The Rangers are playing tonight, late night action on the road against the Edmonton Oilers, and Connor McDavid and all the star players on the Edmonton side. So hockey is back full force. The Baby Penguins won last night again, and they won their home opener on last Saturday on the 21st. And then they won, and then they won last night, their first game against their arch rival, the Hershey Bears, and they won that game. So congrats to the Baby Pens. They play again this Saturday night at the Mohegan Sun Arena at Casey Plaza in Wilkes-Barre. Saturday night at 6:05. So go check out Tux and the Penguins going waddle, waddle, waddle. And hockey's back in full force. So very excited about the Baby Penguins back in action and beat up on their rival, the Hershey Bears. So hockey's back. Some nice hockey games tonight. Some fun basketball games tonight. Basketball's back in full force. Baseball, a lot of sad Philly fans. I was shocked. Like, how did that happen to the Phillies? But Phillies were up 2-0 over the Diamondbacks that series. And then after blowing 2 games with Craig Kimbrell, who messed up in Arizona bigly, it was 2-2 series tie. Then Zach Wheeler pitched great. Kyle Schwarber's hitting home run bombs. They won the last game in Arizona. They were up 3-2. Going back home for Monday and Tuesday, a potential Game 6. I didn't even think it was going to get to Game 7. They hadn't lost at home in Philadelphia with the raucous, crazy crowd in Philadelphia. And what happens, the Phillies offense just goes cold. They start chasing pitches in the dirt, breaking balls in the dirt. Bryce Harper, Nick Castellanos couldn't do anything. Kyle Schwarber couldn't do much. And the Phillies scored 1 run on Monday's Game 6, lost 5-1. Aaron Nola, who pitched great all postseason long up until that start where he struggled, but they had no run support. And then in Game 7, you still like their chances. Ranger Suarez is pitching. He's been great all postseason long. Phillies give up the first run, but then they come back. Alec Boehm had a home run to tie it 1-1. Then Bryson Stott made it 2-1. So the Phillies are up 2-1 in the 5th inning, but they give up 2 crucial runs, make it 3-2. Corbin Carroll had been struggling. Their speedster rookie outfielder for the Diamondbacks, could probably be Rookie of the Year, was lights out at 3 hits, stole a bunch of bases, and then they caught that extra short run, made it 4-2, and even though the starter only went 4 innings for the Diamondbacks, that bullpen's been lights out, and they just couldn't do it, couldn't get it done, and it was lights out for the Phillies season. So shocking. Phillies got eliminated, lost both games, Games 6 and 7 on their home field at Cincinnati Park in Philly. Phillies, I really thought they were going to go to the World Series, second year in a row. This time we're going to win it all. First time since 2008, 15 years ago, but they'll have to try for another year. We'll see. Rhys Hoskins, who might have been activated for the World Series, we'll see what he'll be doing. Will he come back to the Phillies coming off the torn ACL, the knee injury? Aaron Nola's a free agent. They need to bring him back. I don't know if they'll be able to. A big-time starting pitcher. Go with Zach Wheeler, Ranger Suarez, and Taijuan Walker is supposedly, and I don't blame him, very upset and annoyed that he didn't get the chance to pitch at all in the postseason, even after pitching pretty well, even though walked a lot of guys who won 15 games in the regular season, and they wouldn't let him pitch at all in the postseason. So they still signed for 3 more years of that 4-year contract. That could be very dicey in Philly. So they had their end-of-year press conference, but shocked by that. But congrats to the Arizona Diamondbacks. First World Series appearance since 2001, 22 years ago, when they upset my Yankees, who were trying to go for a win 4 straight World Series. They knocked off the Diamondbacks knocked off the Yankees. Mariano Rivera, the invincible one, in the ninth inning on a walk-off bloop RBI single by Luis Gonzalez. And the rest is history. Yankees couldn't win their 4th World Series championship in a row. Still has not been a back-to-back World Series champion winner who'd been able to repeat as champions. Even the Astros came close again this year, since my Yankees did 3 years in a row, almost made it 4 years in a row in the late 90s, early 2000s. So the Diamondbacks back to the World Series for the second time ever, trying to win their second World Series championship ever after winning it in 2001. They'll play the Texas Rangers, who blew. It was just like the World Series in 2019 with the Nationals won all the games on the road, and the Astros won all their games on the road. So no one won at home. So the Astros lost the first 2 in Houston. Then the Texas Rangers included a heartbreaker in Game 5 on Friday night with Altuve, who's been amazing in the postseason, so clutch. Won 3 in a row. The Astros came back. Were up 3-2. In Houston, just again like the Phillies, just needed to win one game. They lost Game 6, and then in Game 7 they got blown out. It wasn't even close like the Philly Diamondback Game 7. And then the Texas Rangers, Adolis Garcia, the ALCS MVP, talking about who's your daddy. He was the Astros' daddy. He dominated the all series long. Very much deserved ALCS MVP, and I think probably the front runner for World Series MVP. And then you have Jordan Montgomery, who I hope the Yankees can get back at some point. Said they didn't foresee him to be a playoff pitcher last year for the Yankees. He's been lights out all postseason long after he pitched well for the Cardinals, and now pitching for the Texas Rangers. Jordan Montgomery and then Nathan Eovaldi, the two of them, former Red Sox stellar pitcher on their championship team in 2018. Eovaldi and Jordan Montgomery have been lights out. I think Eovaldi's going to pitch in Game 1 of the World Series on Friday night, tomorrow night. And the Texas Rangers pitching's good. Their offense has been lights out. Corey Seager, Marcus Semien. They're just a hard, powerful offensive line to shut down. I think the Phillies would have a hard time with them. And as much as I like the Diamondbacks, their Cinderella story, and my buddy Dan Torres rooting for them, and I wouldn't mind at this point. Anyone but the Astros win the World Series, I'll be happy with. Wanted the Phillies to win it at this point if they would have made it. But now with what we have, I won't be upset with either story. Either team. The Diamondbacks haven't won a World Series in 22 years, and they're a young up-and-coming team. The Texas Rangers have never won the World Series. They made the World Series 2 years in a row. 2010, they got swept by the Giants. 2011, should have won it against the Cardinals and Albert Pujols, but then David Freese got those big hits in Game 6. Nelson Cruz couldn't get back on the ball. Probably shouldn't have been on the field at the time. He was probably a DH even back then, 12 years ago. They blew Game 6 twice, then lost in Game 7 in St. Louis, so they really should have won 2011, but they've never won the World Series. So now Bruce Bochy coming out of retirement. Made the World Series with the Padres, lost to my Yankees in 98, won 3 World Series titles with the Giants, and now come out of retirement after the Texas Rangers and the Diamondbacks both had lost over 100 games just 2 years ago. Both teams were pretty bad last year. Texas was horrible last year. Bruce Bochy, first year come out of retirement, leads them to a heck of a season, almost a division championship, and now they swept the Tampa Bay Rays in 2 games in the wild card series, swept the Orioles, the AL East champions, a heck of a team in 3 games in the ALDS, and then came back even when they were struggling, couldn't win at home, beat their arch rival, the Houston Astros, 4-3 in a best-of-7 series. Both league championship series were classic 7-game series, and now they will go to the World Series. And I'll give the Texas, I won't count the Diamondbacks out. They even try to force Mike and the Mad Dog, formerly of Mike and the Mad Dog fame, Chris Russo, the Mad Dog, said he would retire if the Diamondbacks won both games in Philadelphia. He went back on that word. Now he's supposedly, Howard Stern says he's going to wear a Diamondbacks bikini throughout New York City and Times Square. That will be funny to see if he goes through with that stunt, but I'll be rooting for the Diamondbacks to keep it close. I think they're a Cinderella team. They have a chance, but I still think it's going to be hard to shut down that Texas Rangers dynamic offense. And Jordan Montgomery and Nathan Eovaldi pitch that guy on the ball. I'm going to go with the Texas Rangers to win this series. They have home field advantage. Starts tomorrow night, Game 1 of the World Series. All the games at 8:03. Games 1 and 2 are in Texas on Friday and Saturday, 27th to 28th of October. Then they're off Sunday, and then they switch to Arizona for the 3 games, as long as it goes not a sweep, and it goes to 5 games at least. Then Game 3, the first game in Arizona, will be Monday, October 30th. Halloween night, Game 4 on October 31st will be on Halloween night in Arizona, Game 4. Game 5, if necessary, November 1st. We'll go into November and play some baseball before we get to Thanksgiving to be too cold. Wednesday, November 1st will be Game 5, the final game at the Arizona Diamondbacks home ballpark, and all the games have been sold out at the Diamondbacks Stadium. They're excited at Chase Field. Then they'll be off the next Thursday, and then Friday, November 3rd will be Game 6 in Texas, and if it goes to the distance, Game 7 would be Saturday, November 4th at the Globe Life Stadium, Globe Life Park in Texas. where they had the COVID shortened season, they had the World Series play. They were Corey Seager was World Series MVP for the Dodgers because they were able to play that with the COVID restrictions there. So now they actually get to host the World Series. I think it's going to be a stellar World Series. I hope it's not a sweep. I think it's going to be tough to slow down that Texas Rangers dynamic offense. Diamondbacks will be tough, especially at home in Arizona. They play tough, but I think Texas at home will get it done. I think Texas Rangers it will go to Game 6. They'll have to come back to Texas, and Texas Rangers clinch in front of their home fans with their first World Series in franchise history. One of the oldest teams to not win a World Series yet. They rebound from not winning it in 2011 when they should have. 12 years later, a dozen years later, I think Texas Rangers win in Game 6 over the Arizona Diamondbacks, win 4 games into the World Series. Adolis Garcia, my early bet for World Series MVP, and then Bruce Bochy would win his 4th World Series title. Been in World Series with 3 different teams. This would be his 4th title, 2nd championship, 2nd franchise to lead to a championship. So amazing stuff. So all the games are on Fox and ESPN Radio, so even though I wish it was the Phillies in the World Series, my Yankees were lockout and didn't even go to the playoffs. Our judges at opening night for the Knicks, but hopefully it'll be a fun World Series. It kicks off tomorrow night, Friday, at 8:03 on Fox. So World Series, I'll go with Texas Rangers to win in 6 games over the Diamondbacks in a close one. Basketball, hockey are back. And then football, Penn State lost another close one, but they couldn't get it done at Ohio State. They still seem to not get over the hump against the 2 big boy powerhouses, the Big Ten against Ohio State and Michigan. They'll play Michigan in a couple weeks at home against Michigan. They're going through their supposedly cheated scandal like Spygate with improper scouted and and improper scouting or stealing of what's going on. Michigan allegedly might be in hot water with that. Jim Harbaugh and his khaki pants and all that, but Michigan, they'll get a crack at them soon. But this week, Penn State, they lost 20-12 at Ohio State. Tough place to play. The only team that really came close to knocking off Ohio State almost did was Notre Dame Fighting Irish. So Notre Dame was off last week after crushing USC. Caleb Williams the week before. Utah beat USC this week, so people are starting to get down on Caleb Williams. Notre Dame is at home against the Panthers this Saturday afternoon at 3:30. I think Notre Dame will win that game pretty easily. And Penn State should bounce back at home at Happy Valley at Beaver Stadium in Penn State. They will play Big Ten foe Indiana Hoosiers. I think Penn State wins that game pretty easily as they head into November. Last game of October. And then it's last week, a month of the regular season in November. It's flying right by. And then they have Michigan, and then we'll see what they can do. But either way, I think they'll get a good bowl game, but it stinks. It's their first loss of the season, but already their playoff hopes are probably pretty shot at this point. Losing to Ohio State, we'll see what happens against Michigan. But when they expand the playoffs next year to 12 teams, they still might be in it, even after losing a close one to Ohio State. So college football week side this week. Got one last high school football game. The high school football regular season ends tomorrow night on Friday night. Friday night under the lights, northeast of Pennsylvania. It's really big. Williamsport. I'm going to cover Williamsport at Tunkhannock Tigers, so that'll be my game, 7 o'clock. And then they have the old shoe game, which I covered last year. That'll be fun. Dallas, who you would think will probably get the win. We'll see, but Lake Lehman plays them tough no matter what the records are. Dallas right now is 9-0, trying to go for the perfect regular season, go to 10-0. Lake Lehman came off a nice win over the Hanover Hawkeyes last week. They are 2-7, and so they'll either finish 3-7 or 2-8, depending on what they do against Dallas. But Dallas trying to win the old shoe game once again, like they did last year with Parker Molesta. Running amazing. I covered that game last year, so that'll be a fun game. Nanticoke and Hanover will be an exciting one. Wilkes-Barre area versus Wyoming Valley West, which I covered Wyoming Valley West in the point rating against Grand Prep last week. So a lot of good high school football. I can't believe the regular season's already going to be done and playoffs start next week. Playoffs? It's flying right by. So now let's quickly get into it before I have to pick up my daughter for dance class. Don't want to be late. She's in her Ariel dress, and everyone's amazing. She's looking amazing in her Halloween costume. She's excited about it. Just got our spiffy new haircuts. We're having a good day. So it kicks off tonight, week 8 of the NFL schedule. No teams are off with bye weeks. Yes, finally no teams are off. Next week we go back to playing some European games at the back-to-back weeks in Germany. After we played a lot of games in England already. Which then you like it, because then you have football from 9:30 o'clock in the morning Eastern time all the way to like midnight when Sunday Night Football is over. Thursday Night Football tonight, Amazon Prime Video, 8:15 p.m. This Thursday night, October 26th. It's the Tampa Bay Bucks. Baker Mayfield, who knows if he'll play? I think he'll play, but he'll be banged up. The Bucks at Atlanta Fran's Buffalo Bills, who are 4-3, coming off a bad loss. They barely beat the Giants in Sunday Night Football the week before. On the 15th of October, my wife's birthday, got embarrassed. Even though they came back, took a lead late, got embarrassed on the road against the New England Patriots, who stink. But Mac Jones and the Patriots, Bill Belichick got his 300th career coaching victory, a nice milestone for him. Still think it's mostly Tom Brady who got it done. There's rumors Tom Brady might be back with his wife Gisele Bundchen. We'll see. But the Bucks at Bills, I digress. I think the Bills are going to be mad as heck, not going to take it more at home with the Bills Mafia. The Bills are going to be pumped. It's nice and warm. It's not going to be cold like late in the season, but the Bills, 4-3, they're going to be mad as heck. Beat up on Baker Mayfield, Baker Mayfield, the Bucks, who are going to have a hard time. A cold weather team coming, a warm weather team coming to a colder place. It's nice and warm northeastern Pennsylvania, at least anyway. It's feel like summertime for a while. I got to enjoy it before it goes away, and it's cold as we start November. But Buffalo Bills, I think, will get it done. They're upset they played so bad against their division rival, the Patriots, last week, who are now, even with that win, 2-5, they aren't going anywhere. I think they're going to light up by the Dolphins this week after they got embarrassed by the Eagles on Sunday Night Football. But the Bills bounce back. Josh Allen just got to make sure he doesn't throw the ball too much. They lost their tight end, Knox. He's out. I think he's going to get wrist surgery. Stephon Diggs and all the firepower for the Bills offense. They should be able to light up the Bucs defense at home in Buffalo, as long as they don't turn the ball too much like they did week 1 in some other games with Josh Allen with some costly turnovers last week in New England. I think the Bills, they beat up the Bucs. I'm going to go with 27-17. They win by 10 points at home to improve to 5-3 over Tampa Bay. But Buffalo still needs to work out some of the kinks to make sure they can go on a title run, which that's what the expectation is in Buffalo, not just to be a decent team, to win the division and battle, because the Dolphins are going to be a tough team to beat. And even my stinky JTS Jets are still in the race, and we might, cross our fingers, get Aaron Rodgers back. Who knows? From the ruptured Achilles, he had the experimental surgery. Who knows? At 40 years old, on December 2nd, my brother's 30th birthday, he could come back. So the Jets are still in it. But Bills 27-17 over the Bucs. Then on Sunday, October 29th, we have 9 early 1 o'clock games. So for the early 1 o'clock games, I have the Houston Texans at the Carolina Panthers on Fox. Panthers still the only winless team in the NFL. I think that will continue in Carolina. They're trying their best, but the Texans actually are a pretty solid team with their young quarterback and DeMeco Ryans, the young coach, leading a very tough defense. Texans' young quarterback is really lighting it up out there, and I think the Panthers are going to continue to struggle. I think the Texans win. On the road, I'm going to go with 23-10. They win by 13 at Carolina. 1 o'clock on Fox, the LA Rams, congrats to Sean McVay, had his baby, and he joked that his little baby knew enough to not be born during NFL Sunday, so he didn't have to miss a game. But Sean McVay and the Rams, they are going on the road to take on the Dallas Cowboys. This will be a tough one in Dallas. The Rams could be a tough team because Matthew Stafford, at times that offense is clicking, and they have Cooper Kupp back. They gave an Eagles a scare recently. They could be a dangerous team, but I still think in the end they won't be able to get it done. I think the Cowboys, they beat the Rams. Dak Prescott, as long as he doesn't throw the ball too much, that defense, Micah Parsons and everything, will have Matthew Stafford running for his life. I'm going to go with the Cowboys beating the Rams. I'll go with 24-10. I'll go with 24-10. They win by 2 touchdowns over the Rams. Rams last week almost beat the Steelers, but then they ended up cutting their kicker. The same guy who was the Cowboys kicker, Brett Maher, kept missing extra points and field goals and cost the Rams bigly. And the Steelers had a nice comeback victory in La La Land in L.A. last week. But Rams, I think, will play the Cowboys tough early, but then the Cowboys pull away and win by 2 touchdowns, 24-10. Vikings at the Green Bay Packers on Fox. Big-time division rivalry at Lambeau Field. But I think the Vikings win this game. Kirk Cousins starting to heat up, even without Justin Jefferson. Came close to beating the Chiefs a couple weeks ago. Actually crushed the 49ers on Monday Night Football. It was a close game, but they really dominated that game, and he played lights out against a solid 49ers defense. So I'm going to think Kirk Cousins will continue to play well. He'll get it done. Jordan Love is really struggling and just lost to the hapless Denver Broncos. So finally, someone was able to lose to the Broncos. And the Broncos only have 2 wins this year with Sean Payton and all the trash talking. Russell Wilson struggling. But the Packers are that bad. Jordan Love, and don't think he's a total bust, but he's very mediocre. Definitely not Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers, which they took for granted. Green Bay had 2 amazing quarterbacks. Only won the one Super Bowl each with them, 2 combined. I don't know if Jordan Love's the answer, but I think Kirk Cousins and the Vikings will continue to roll. I'm going to go with the Vikings. They'll win 30-20. I'll say they'll keep it somewhat close, but I think 30-20. They win by 10 points on the road in Green Bay, the Vikings, and continue to stay hot and try to stay in the thick of the playoff race. The New Orleans Saints, 1 o'clock on Fox at the Indianapolis Colts. This could go either way. I'm going to actually go with the Colts here. I'm going to say Gardner Minshew, Uncle Rico, throwing that football over the mountains. The Colts almost beat the Browns last week. The Saints have been struggling. The Saints barely lost to the Jaguars last Thursday night on Thursday Night Football, but I think the Saints are going to continue to struggle. And I think the Colts will do just enough at home, be a dangerous team. Gardner Minshew is fearless out there. And they got the Jonathan Taylor running back. I'm going to go with the Colts in a close, ugly game, 23-20. They win on a last-second field goal. Colts at home with the Saints. Patriots at Dolphins, 1 o'clock at CBS. Just because the Patriots beat up on the Bills took them for granted. I still don't think the Patriots have their mojo back. I don't think Mac Jones is the answer at quarterback. I think Bill Belichick's going to continue to struggle without Tom Brady. I'm going to go with the Dolphins, coming off a bad, getting crushed by the Eagles, who looked amazing, coming off their first loss to my Jets the week before, wearing the Kelly Green jerseys. Eagles dominated them. Tua's healthy with Tyreek Hill, Chase Claypool, Waddle, and all that offensive firepower for the Dolphins. I'm going to go with the Dolphins at home, beating up on the Patriots. I'll go with 33. I'll go 33-13. They win by 20 points over their division rival, the Patriots. Then 1 o'clock, Battle of New York. They play each other every year in preseason, but only every 4 years in the regular season. Jets coming off a bye week to be on CBS 1 o'clock. This year it's the Giants. This time it's the Giants as the home team. 4 years from now, 2027, the Jets will be the home team. But at MetLife Stadium, it's going to be half Jet fans, half Giant fans. I'm going to go with, as much as the Giants have been playing better, since actually the Daniel Jones who got paid all that money, and he doesn't look like he's worth it. Daniel Jones has been struggling, but Tyrod Taylor, the offense has been playing better. They got Saquon Barkley back, almost beat the Bills the week before. It was in a close, ugly game, but they won at home 14-7, beat Washington Commanders last week, which I was able to pick correctly. But it was a low-scoring game, but Tyrod Taylor's giving him a chance to win. Giants' defense is getting better, and the offensive line's improving. But I still think in the end, the Jets' defense is ferocious. They'll force some turnovers. As long as Zach Wilson can continue not to turn over the ball too much, and Breece Hall can run the ball amazingly as he has, and Garrett Wilson, get him the ball a little bit. It might be ugly until they get Aaron Rodgers back, but I think the Jets continue to win. They win their third in a row, come off the bye week, improve a game over 500 to 4-3, win the Battle of New York. Jets over the Giants. I'm going to go with 26-23. They win by 3 over their Giants, in their stadium rival and city rival. They'll beat the Giants 26-23. And the Giants will fall to 2-6. The Jaguars at Steelers, 1 o'clock CBS. My wife and I will actually be at this game. My buddy Dan Tortora is a big Jaguar fan. They came off a nice win over the Saints last week. I think after 1-2, they've won 4 in a row. I think they're 5-2. Trevor Lawrence came back from the sprained knee. He's been playing pretty well, playing tough, gritting it out with the injuries. Doug Peterson, that Jaguars offense is playing well. The defense is playing underrated solid ball. But as much as the Jaguars are a little bit of a slight favorite to win on the road by Vegas standards, I'm going to say when they're playing Renegade in the third quarter to pump up the Steelers crowd with their Hall of Fame honors, Steelers Hall of Fame honors with James Harrison and a lot of other Steel players getting inducted into their team's Hall of Fame. The crowd will be passionate. The Steelers play much better at home. The offense starts out slow, and then they pick it up at the end after they're chanting out fire Matt Canada, who I still don't think Matt Canada is the answer at offense coordinator for the Steelers. I'd probably like to see him get a change and get a better offense coordinator in there, but the defense will keep it close. T.J. Watt, Alex Highsmith, Minka Fitzpatrick will play amazing, and then between turnovers and sometimes they score defensively, and the offense will do just enough, and they pick it up right at the end when they get the ball to Pickens. Deontay Johnson's back. Freiermuth's unfortunately injured. Najee Harris, Warren. I think the Steelers will do enough against the Jaguars. Will be a close one. I think Chris Boswell gets a game-winning field goal. Steelers over the Jaguars. I'm going to go with 23-20. They win on a game-winning field goal. The Steelers win at, still call it, instead of Acrisure Stadium, still the catcher ball to me at Heinz Field. We'll be at that game, and it'll be a pump, and hopefully my wife will be excited to watch her Steelers, and I think they'll win 23-20 over the Jaguars, and they'll prove to 5-2 and still have a great chance to make the playoffs. Then 1 o'clock Falcons at the Tennessee Titans, wear their retro Houston Oilers jerseys, which will be fun to see, the powder blue jerseys, and the Oiler logo on the helmet. Titans, they play tough at times, but it looks like Tannehill's going to be out, so they're going to maybe go with Will Levis, the rookie quarterback, maybe Malik Willis, and then Derrick Henry. There's trade rumors because Halloween on this Tuesday is the trade deadline. He could get possibly traded. I just think the Falcons have been playing better of late. They don't have their quarterback is injured with Tannehill. I think the Atlanta Falcons will go on the road to Tennessee and beat the Titans. Desmond Ridder and the Falcons are playing better, and I think the Falcons are going to beat the Titans. I'll go with 20-17. They win by 3 in Tennessee. Lastly, early 1 o'clock games. The Philadelphia Eagles, Eagles, Eagles at the Washington Commanders. I'm going to go with the Eagles here. Washington plays them tough, almost beat them in Philly early in the year until Jake Elliott made the last-second long field goal to win it. But I think the Eagles this time won't take it for granted. I hope they won't take it for granted. Don't let Washington hang around for too long. And keep the game close. I think Philly's going to win this game bigly. I think they're getting their mojo back. They should wear those Kelly green jerseys more often. They're going to wear, I think, 2 more times this season. Eagles over Washington. I think they're going to win. I'll go with 27-10. They win by 17 points. And watch the Jason Kelsey documentary on Amazon Prime. Great stuff. Then for the 4 p.m. late afternoon games, 4:05 on Fox, the Cleveland Browns at the Seattle Seahawks. Deshaun Watson looks like he's still going to be out with his injury. They barely beat the Colts last week at Seattle with the 12th man, Geno Smith. Tough Seahawks offense and defense. Pete Carroll will have that team ready to play. I think if the game was in Cleveland, I'd give them a chance, especially if Deshaun Watson was healthy, even though he's been mediocre this year. With him out, I think I'll go on the Seahawks to win at home. Seahawks over the Browns, 20-10. They win by 10 points at home in Seattle. The Ravens at the Arizona Cardinals, 4:25 on CBS. Cardinals stink, and the Ravens, at times they don't play up to snuff, but they have so much talent when they're playing, clicking on all cylinders. I thought the Lions, who've been playing great, would have a chance to beat them, but the Ravens destroyed the Lions. I think the Ravens win bigly over the Cardinals, not even close. I'm going to go with 42-10. They win by 32 points. Then the Kansas City Chiefs, 6-1 after losing that one game. First game of the season without Chris Jones holding out and Travis Kelce with the knee injury. Taylor Swift's going to go on all the games. They're going to play at the Broncos, who are 2-5. Hallelujah, hallelujah. They finally beat a team last week in the stinky Packers. But they're 2-5. They play the Chiefs tough almost every time, no matter how bad the Broncos are and how good the Chiefs are. They know each other very well. AFC West division rivals, 4:25 on CBS. I'm going with the Chiefs. Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce will get it done. Probably a lot more Taylor Swift shots, as you would see. And my daughter wants to go see that Taylor Swift concert movie. I'll probably be watching that pretty soon. I'll go with the Chiefs to beat the Broncos. They'll keep it close for a little bit. The Broncos, Chiefs pull away late. I'll go with the Chiefs to win 23-13. They win by 10 points out on the road at Mile High Stadium in Denver. Last, the 4 o'clock games, 4:25 on CBS. Bengals at 49ers. 2 Super Bowls. They played each other in the 80s, and Joe Montana and Jerry Rice, the Niners, won those. I'm going to go with the Bengals here to go on the road to the Niners. Niners will lose their third in a row. Some panic in San Francisco. Brock Purdy's in concussion protocol. I don't think he's going to play this late in the week in concussion protocol. They lost to the Browns in a close one the week before. On Monday Night Football, he got beat up in a very physical game. Vikings took it to him. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense took it to the 49ers dynamic defense. And I think with a backcourt like Sam Darnold, the former Jets quarterback, I don't think we'll get it done. I think it'll be mediocre at best. Christian McCaffrey scores a touchdown every game. Deebo Samuel's been beat up. He's been beat up, McCaffrey. I just think the Bengals, they're starting to get their mojo back. Joe Burrow and company will get it done and put up some points, and he's getting healthy at the right time, Joe Burrow. I think the Bengals beat the 49ers. I'll go with 27. I'll go with 27-20. They win by a touchdown on the road in San Francisco. If the Niners were healthy, I'd give them a chance, but I think the Niners lose their third in a row. Sunday Night Football, 8:20 on NBC and Peacock. The Chicago Bears, at the LA Chargers. It's a kind of an ugly game for Sunday Night Football, but I think the Chargers win. Justin Herbert and the Chargers put up enough points. They have so much talent, and they underachieve. And then the Bears, Justin Fields is injured. DJ Moore's a heck of a receiver, but the Bears are, they won a game last week, but they won a game with a backup quarterback that I don't think even was drafted. So the Bears, they'll try to keep it close, but I think the Chargers, too much offensive firepower as long as they don't make too many costly turnovers and mistakes. Justin Herbert, we trust. Don't know necessarily trust the Chargers coach Staley, who I think might get fired at the end if they don't make the playoffs. And the Chargers beat up on the Bears. I'll go with 34-13 and win by 3 touchdowns. And then on Halloween Eve, spooky. October 30th, Monday Night Football, 8:15 p.m. on ABC and ESPN. The Vegas Raiders, who are banged up at quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo's been hurt, playing at the Detroit Lions. Josh McDaniels might get fired as the head coach of the Raiders. I think the Detroit Lions will be mad as heck, not going to take it anymore. Dan Campbell, they run through a brick wall for him and will motivate that team. Jared Goff, that offense, the defense, be top-notch, and they'll beat up on the Raiders at home in Detroit, which should be a fun scene Monday Night Football, and I haven't had many of those in Detroit lately. Lions will crush the Raiders. I'll go with 38-13. They destroy them by 25 points. So again, my picks are tonight, Bills over the Bucks, Texans over the Panthers, Cowboys over the